Wreck My Podcast!
Grab your skateboard, strap on your helmet, and meet us down at Ocean Shores because we're hanging with the raddest kids around. This week, we will discuss the classic Nicktoon, Rocket Power. Will this be a major beef and wreck our childhood?
Wreck My Podcast!
Welcome to the Wreck My Podcast, where today we're talking about Rocket Power. I'm here with my guest, 100% pure California bust. It's Cam.
That is me. I am 100% pure California bust.
After he eats cheese.
Yes.
After I cheese, yeah.
That's busted. He likes to woogity, woogity, woogity. It's Krager.
Woogity, woogity, woogity.
Which actually, there was only one episode we watched where they did a woogity.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
I didn't even get to watch that episode.
Yeah. And then, rock on with your bad self. It's Joe.
Hello, everybody.
Shooby.
Shooby. Don't make me give you the stink eye.
Ooh.
I'm your host, Jordan. I went Tito on that one.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Also a little bit of the new guy, but you know.
A little bit of the new guy, yeah. So,
I watched that movie the other day.
Before we get into this, we'll do a little bit of a trailer time, but instead of trailer time, we're just going to do, here's the beginning part song intro to every episode.
We are riders on a mission, action kids in play position, rocket power! We are riders on a mission, action kids in fun condition, prepare to count down rocket power!
So,
Are you riders?
Bam, 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 bam.
Yeah, that's the song for those of you that don't remember, haven't watched it in a while. But we just watched it recently. It was a lot of fun. Guys, what did you remember most about this show before we went in and rewatched some of the episodes?
I didn't remember how much of a jerk Twister
Twister?
is.
Oh,
Twister's a dick.
Twister's
Yeah,
a
he's a
big
total
dick.
But also they show you it's because he's treated like poop by his older brother. So
Yeah.
it's like the circle of screaming.
I guess so. But even then,
It's a pyramid. Pyramid of screaming. It's
Yeah.
a pyramid.
it's just Twister's a dick. But yeah, what else did you guys remember?
The other day, Claire and I were hanging out, and I just went, "That's the spirit!" And then I was like, "What the hell is that from?" And then I Googled it, and it was from Rocket Power. It was like a weird guy on the pier that had like a top hat.
That's the spirit!
Interesting.
And he was like, "That's the spirit." I think he only said it like in one episode, but my
Oh.
brain just did it.
Yeah.
And-
it did that thing.
Yeah, but I remember that really cool like Jamaican guy that ran the skate park,
Mr. Blanc is their teacher, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
Mr. B.
Mr. B.
Yeah.
And I remember just a bunch of really fun, extreme sports.
Yeah, all
Oh.
lots of fun streams.
I guess Mandela effect. I thought that the worker at the burger place was their dad because he looks more like them.
That's actually a theory. So
It is
in
a theory.
Conspiracy Corner over here,
Okay.
that he actually had an affair with Raymundo's wife at the time, and the kids are Tito's, but Tito doesn't have the heart to tell Raymundo because she died. So it's true because they're the same complexion and like facial
Yeah.
features.
Well, also,
and, like,
Raimundo
Yeah.
has a lot of head trauma, as we found
he does
out.
have a
Yes,
lot.
yes,
I
he
love
does.
that part. That was funny. Joe, what did you
It
remember?
would also been nice to have helmets.
Would have also been nice if we had
Said
helmets.
Says it twice. I remember really liking the show. I remember always thinking that most of the tricks that Otto and everyone does are basically impossible.
Yeah. Also, do any of them exist? Like the two they mentioned are a McVarial and a McTwist.
Yeah,
I'm
both of those exist.
Really?
Yeah.
A McTwist 720? Is that what you get at McDonald's? Why are they Mick everything? Like,
Well, it's a varial and then a McTwist, right? Yeah. Those are
Okay.
skateboard things.
Nah.
Varial 900.
I
Yeah,
should know. I
the
played a lot
Super
of
Mc-
Tony Hawk.
Yeah, the Super McVarial 900.
Sponsored by McDonald's.
Yes. The big McVarial 900.
Dominios.
Yeah.
Other than that, the one episode for whatever reason I always remember is the one where Sam makes like a video game based of all like the characters.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And there was like Twister was like the tweezer and he was always losing a shoe.
Yeah.
and- Yeah.
And they got really popular.
Yep.
I remember that.
I
now.
remember an episode,
remember
and I don't know if it was actually Rocket Power now, because at first, do you guys remember Magic Kid? Like the kid whose house has a bunch of like magic tricks in it.
Yeah.
Was that Rocket Power? Because at first I thought it was Eddie, the Prince of the Netherlands.
The Netherlands? Eddie, Prince of the Netherworld?
Yeah, the Netherworld that we
Nether
saw
region.
there. Yeah, but then I was like, I think this is a whole different episode. But I couldn't, when I looked it up online, I couldn't find anything alluding to like some kid who had a bunch of magic tricks in his house for
It
Rocket
could
Power.
be a Hey Arnold thing.
Yeah, that doesn't ring a bell to me.
Oh,
Maybe
That
Hey Arnold.
feels like a Hey Arnold
But I
thing.
also specifically remember in my mind it was like a suburban ocean town, and they had a pool in the backyard of their house, and like the people went over for a birthday party, and it was really weird. And it was like the
maybe this
same
just happened to
animation.
you.
Maybe, I don't know. And I just see everything in the animation of like Rugrats and All Real Monsters
Yeah.
and Rocket Power.
One thing I completely forgot about was their neighbors.
Oh, the Stimpletons.
Stimpletons,
Yeah, I
yeah.
love. Do you know who Mrs. Stimpleton is?
No.
That voice was so familiar.
It was Ed Bighead, right? The guy that does Ed Bighead?
No, Merv is.
Oh,
Yes,
Merv,
is
yeah.
Ed Bighead. Yes, Charlie Adler.
Yeah. Oh, were you saying
Who Mrs.
Yeah.
Stimpleton is the girl who plays Grace. Grace in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. The assistant to the principal who has the like things in her hair that she pulls
Oh
out.
yeah, I
the-
could totally see that now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's her.
Well, makes you look like an ass is what he does, Ed.
Thank you, Grace. I think you're wrong.
Oh, well, he's very popular, Ed. The sportos, the motorheads, geeks, sluts, bloods, wastoids, dweebies, dickheads. They all adore him. They think he's a righteous dude.
Yeah. She plays like a million other roles, but that's like the only
Also,
role I
That's
know.
Morgan,
awesome.
Morgan was looking it up. The bad guy in Little Rascals is Squid.
Pretty much everyone from Little Rascals is in this, and we'll get into
Really?
that. Oh, every
That's
person who's
interesting.
in
I had
Little
no
Rascals,
idea.
pretty much. Like, there's like 6 people from Little Rascals.
that's
in here.
cool.
Yeah, it's great. Guys, what did you like about this show? Rewatching it,
It actually kind of held up for me.
I
Like-
liked it a
yeah.
lot.
Like I actually really enjoyed watching it. Like there wasn't one part where I'm like, oh, this is lamer than I thought.
Yeah.
No, it was all really
well, it
enjoyable.
helped they were only 10 minutes.
Yeah.
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 I didn't realize how many messages about like friendship and acceptance were in those episodes when I was a kid.
Kinda, but I also feel like kinda not.
No, but like even though they're like bullying everyone, like
Yeah.
at the end they're like, yeah, but this is what really matters, right?
Yeah.
Like all this kind of thing. Like at the end there's like that aha or like
Well,
learned
it's
moment.
And
almost-
basically Twister's like, you see that kid? Don't be like that kid.
Yeah, well, but no,
That's
but
what the show is.
Twister was like giving Squid a hard time when he got there, and then I was like, "You were new ones too," and it's like, "Oh, that's nice," but then Otto directly turns around and goes, "Yeah, you're an idiot." Like it's
Yeah.
like he's kind of being the voice of reason, but he's also not.
Yeah,
the
they're
voice
still
but
of
he's
kids.
also
reason.
being
A 9-year-old.
Yeah, what a
Yeah.
9-year-old would do.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
One thing I, for whatever reason, just didn't remember. The way they sound, their voices.
Oh yeah, I didn't. I
They're
didn't
like
remember
all
that
like
either.
raspy. If anything, they sound like they would be much older.
Yeah, I
Rather than what,
agree.
10 is what they're supposed to be?
9
and
yeah,
10.
they're
10
9
or
and
something.
10.
See, they kind of sounded. It just seemed the same to me.
Well,
Reggie's in 6th grade, right?
yes,
Yeah.
And so
and the other
Sam,
two are in
'cause
5th
Sam-
grade.
Yeah.
Skipped.
The thing that was weirdest to me is Raymundo's voice. I remembered him sounding different. Like the
Yeah.
kids were kind of on what I thought, but Raymundo, I was like, oh, I remember him being a little bit different than that. I don't know what it was. Like when I heard it,
See,
it just didn't
all
connect.
the voices sounded the same. It's just I was like, oh, Raymundo was a little bit crazier than I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also the animation was not as smooth.
It
which
wasn't
is
clean,
fine.
which is great.
Yeah, which is fine because that was back. But like when you remember it in your head, you kind of smooth it up a little
Yeah.
bit.
I guess. And like,
So then when
like,
you watch
they
it-
catch like the busts that are wasted, I'm like, that was a lot. That's a lot more abrasive than I remember.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's kind of like when if you've ever watched like an old video of an old video game that you love or play an old video game and you try going back to playing it and it just
it's
looks
so
all
hard.
clunky
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
boxy.
That was
but
my-
you remember it
Like,
in
like that one game that
pristine
like
graphics.
only like kind of like losers still play, like the N64 Smash Bros. That's right.
Oh yes, actually no. The one I was thinking of was when the Halo Master Chief Collection came out, and Halo 2. You can switch back and forth between.
Oh
new,
my
and
God.
Yeah.
I would do it all the time. Be like, wow, this was so bad.
and we thought
but
it was
we
amazing.
remember
Yeah.
it as looking really good.
Yeah.
We remember it as it is
No,
the new
and
version.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I was kidding, but like Super Smash Bros. Like we played, I'm like, oh, this is a lot.
It's
clunkier
clunky.
than
It's
I
just
thought.
cubes.
It's very
It's
clunky.
just
I remember-
cubes.
I know, and like we're spoiled with the responsiveness we have in controllers.
Oh,
like,
N64
it
was
felt
not
like it was like
responsive.
a minute and a half delay on everything
Yeah.
you did.
Like within
It
the
was
last year,
crazy.
I started replaying Star Wars: The Force Unleashed.
That's even pretty bad because that's
yeah.
older.
And I remember when first playing that game, I was like, "This game looks so good." Replayed it, I was like, "This looks horrible."
Yeah.
And you guys ever
True.
play the Indiana Jones computer game?
No.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
I played Lara Croft.
Is that
computer
like
games.
Temple Run?
No, it's
Temple Run? Dude, I forgot about Temple Run. That's a fun game.
that
was
was
a fun
big
game.
for like a couple days.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a big mobile game.
No, but like it's really, really blocky and choppy.
Oh,
but
I'm
like
sure.
it's like an RPG.
Yeah. Well, LucasArts did it.
It kind of it reminds me of like if Minecraft did Indiana Jones.
Yeah. Well, I think
that's how bad the graphics. were.
Minecraft is never going to look bad because Minecraft always looked bad. So, I mean, they got
It's
that
like how
built
you
in
can't
there.
criticize South Park.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bad
it's true.
animation.
Yeah.
Even though they have updated it.
I do have
Oh,
a question for you guys. Do you think that this show resonated with kids outside of Southern California as much as it did for us? Because we
No.
kind of live in
Hawaiians because you think they're in Hawaii.
well, this pretty much a lot of what this was we could see very close to where we lived. Do you think that other people either enjoyed it because they didn't get to experience that, or it just didn't connect with them? They're like, well, this is a weird thing. Like, I don't get anything that's going on right now.
I think kids are gonna watch it and be like, "Hey, this is cool. They're
Yeah.
skateboarding, right?"
It's cool, and they probably thought that's what life was like in Santa Monica.
Yeah,
It's true.
Southern
Yeah.
California, everyone's going woogity woogity woogity,
Yeah.
and
It's like that, but with a little bit more like cocaine addiction.
Yeah, oh yeah.
and our
and
weird
homeless
lingo.
people.
Yeah, I think it totally just resonates with us more, though,
Yeah.
because that is such a big part of the culture here.
Mhm.
But I'm sure people across the country still appreciated the show.
Yeah.
It made me realize how much I really want to live in a beach community.
Yeah.
Oh, I would love that. That would
Yeah.
be my all time. I
Jordan, would
live
you
in
be a
boat.
shoebie at a beach community?
No, I'm not. I'm not ever a shoebie. I mean, so personality-wise, I am a shoebie.
Right.
But I push myself past my shoebieism, my shuba.
Yeah.
And I get to the point because I don't wear shoes when I go to the beach.
Yeah, you're shoebingus.
I go sans shoes, but I'm
Sans
still
shoes.
internally I am a shoebie by nature.
Yes. Okay.
So there's no getting around that.
Okay.
But I wouldn't be wearing shoes like sandals and socks down at the
Yeah,
beach.
you're local passing.
Yeah, I can make myself look like a local.
Okay.
I've had to acclimate living out in Southern California. Okay, last question. Did it wreck your childhood?
No.
Nope.
No, it made it even better.
Yeah, I agree. I
Yeah.
don't think so. No wreck childhood.
Nope.
So that's the end of this episode. No, I'm just kidding.
So I found the
See you
picture.
guys later.
I found the picture
Of what?
The Indiana Jones game I was telling you about.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, that's
no.
real bad. What's wrong with his hand?
I think
Yeah.
it's Indiana Jones and the Infernal Machine.
Why is his hand
bad.
so giant and
He's got-
clubby?
he's got
It's, and why is he
the
why is
Infinity
he
Gauntlet on.
hitchhiking his
Yeah.
thumbs out? Anyway, so let's see what some of our listeners had to say
Okay.
about Rocket Power. So Kelsey at Kelsey Clutch,
Oh,
friend
yeah.
of the show.
Yeah, we saw her last night.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
did. She said Reggie was the badass girl us tomboys needed growing up. I've always wanted to eat at the Shore Shack.
Oh,
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
I
same.
have too, except you probably could because there's probably just like a
The
shack
same.
down
Yeah.
there. It's like the same exact thing.
It's what is it? Big Daddy-O's?
Big Daddy-O's.
Actually,
Mondo
in-
Burger.
in Huntington, they have like a similar looking, similar quality burger plates like down the
Yeah.
block.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
The Santa Monica Pier has two like burger places right on its pier.
Oh, really?
One
Yeah.
of them kind of closely resembles Shore Shack.
I've been to the Mexican restaurant at the end of the Santa Monica.
Well,
Yeah.
I
And
actually
then there's
wrote
a
this
Bubba
by
Gump.
accident, Shake Shack, in my head, and then I looked at it and I go, wait, they have Shake Shacks now. And I'm like, oh, wait, it's called Shore Shack.
Yeah.
Duh. Anyway, we also have Charlie Shaw, friend of the show and patron. He said
Charlie
one.
Shaw.
Charlie Shaw. What's wrong with Charlie Shaw?
Charlie Shaw sounds exact like the guy from Fast and Furious.
We've
You've
literally
made that joke every
we've
single time.
literally talked about
we've
Charlie
said
Shaw
his name.
4 or 5 times on this show.
Why isn't it ringing a bell?
I don't know. We
'Cause he
mention him all the
doesn't
time, and he
listen.
always makes the
Traeger
same
just
ass
doesn't
joke.
listen.
And it's
No,
made
I
like a-
remember making that previous joke, but for some reason it was different this time.
Oh, because this time it's,
the
a
same.
Sunday.
I'm pretty
Different.
sure like last week or like 2 weeks ago, you were like, "Oh, is he friends with Hobbs?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
All
I
right.
didn't remember his name was Charlie.
Anyway, Mr. Shaw said, Charles the Shaw said, one, he related to squid on a molecular level. Okay. 2,
What?
only time I can remember rollerblading ever being cool. Brink.
Brink
Brink.
was definitely
Anyone?
cooler than Rocket Power.
100%.
Come on.
We skate for fun. We're soul skaters.
3, Otto most likely grew up to be the typical Tinder F-boy. I could see that.
Yeah.
And 4, Tito is still the hardest and realest Islander, complete G. I agree.
Yeah.
He is the biggest G
He is.
ever. That's Gangsta
Even
Island
like
right
the
there.
ancient Hawaiians say.
Yeah.
Ancient Hawaiians say.
Um,
What was it?
I think-
The sweetest coconut is always at the top of the tree?
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's like it's the hardest one to get.
Yeah, yeah. Yes.
Don't no
Bruh.
crying over potatoes.
I feel like
sanding your potato
Twister
salad.
would be more like the F boy.
No, because Twister is more like the stoner kid, and Otto is more like the F boy. Because Otto thinks that he's like God's gift to mankind and other realms.
I feel like Twister would reform himself after he went to college.
Probably. Hey,
How much do you think the writers watched Point Break before writing this?
Oh, dude, at least
much.
one time.
so much.
I've never seen Point Break.
You're not missing much.
I watched it on like TV one time a long time ago.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that there was any racial insensitivity going on in this show? Because there kind of was, in my opinion.
I missed it.
Twister and Lars Rodriguez, they were very stereotypically Hispanic,
They
and their
were.
mom was very stereotypically Hispanic.
There was,
Oh.
I think it's
I
Lars.
think that's pretty tame for that. For what they could get away
I
with
guess.
then, I felt like that was
for
very
the
tame.
90s,
I
it's
don't-
tame.
I don't know. Lars and some of his friends, when I was listening to them, I was like, man, serious cholo vibes here.
Yeah,
Oh,
except
for
the one
sure.
like white kid with the zits who's like,
Yeah, you
that's-
can't even understand him.
no,
No.
he like, but he goes,
You
he
like
did
to
the
see
thing where he's
homos
like,
naked?
woo, splat. Okay, we have Joe Janero from Comic Book Rundown podcast. He said the phrase "later days." That's about all I
Yeah.
remember from it. I watched it more in reruns, and I said that's where they get the Latter Day Saints from.
Oh, but the Latter Day
It's
Saints?
Latter Day Saints. And then finally, somebody who's never written into the show before, but a podcast that's newer I listen to called the Nostalgia Blast podcast.
Oh, cool. Thanks
Go
for
check
writing
them
in.
out. Yeah. They wrote, did they ever show them in school in this show, or was it perpetually summer and winter vacation?
Which is funny because that's in the Mick whatever.
Yeah, Super
McVarial
Super
900.
McVarial episode.
He's like,
yelling at
go
him
to
to
school.
go to school.
And
it
in the
cuts
night-
away, and then it comes back to
And they're
them
coming home from school.
coming back home from
but
school.
in the night before, the principal is chewing them out.
Yeah.
And then also in the one snowy days, which was before the final episode we
Right.
watched, they Otto and Sam ditch school, but Reggie and Twister go to school, and it's like a carnival, surprise carnival that day.
Yeah.
So when they ditch school, they have a terrible day, thinking they're gonna have a fun day ditching school,
Right.
but the people who went to school actually had a fun day. So you do see them in school in that episode. Wasted. So there you go. We looked it up, and like I said, Mr. B is their teacher, who's also
Yeah.
ahead of the whatever Mad Men skate park or whatever it's called.
that was the other thing I
Do they
completely
Mad
drink-
Town?
Do they
Mad
drink-
Town. That's
Do
what
they
it's called.
just hang out and drink old fashions?
Pretty much.
Mad Men skate park.
That was the other thing I completely forgot about this show is how they'll have like words like just pop up on the
Yeah.
screen
Yeah.
and it's like
Bogus.
Yeah. But my favorite was the splat, where it's like, wee splat, and it's just like, poor splat.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the show real quick and who's in it. It's from Nickelodeon, of course. It ran for 4 seasons, actually. We only watched the first season.
Also,
1999.
did you guys get super nostalgic every episode when it played the
Yes.
beginning?
Oh,
Nickelodeon
yeah.
thing?
Oh, Nick. Yeah, so 1999 to 2004. Same creators as Rugrats. It's something Klipsky, or it's like that weird
Claspy, Cusco,
Klasko, Kaluspi. Yeah, the
They're-
weird one that no one could ever
Yeah,
pronounce as
Their
a child.
studio is right on Sunset Boulevard.
Yes.
Right next
Yeah.
to Amoeba.
Oh,
Or
that's,
across the
that's
street
right.
from
It's
Amoeba.
across the street.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they did that. They did a bunch of things in the 90s. The show takes place in Ocean Shores, which is pretty much Santa Monica. It's about extreme sports. There you go. That's all you need to know. So Joseph Ashton played Oswald Otto Rocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, his name's Oswald.
I remember that.
You know what Joseph Ashton's from?
Rocket Power.
And
Punked.
The Little Rascals.
Brinked.
Okay.
But also Slappy and the Stinkers, which I just learned was a thing.
Sick.
So shout out Cole for bringing that to my attention. Regina Reggie Rocket was played by Shayna Fox. She was also in Rugrats All Grown Up. Sam Squid Dollard was played by 3 different people in the 4 seasons.
Wow.
The first season was Sam Saletta. He was Butch in Little Rascals.
Yeah.
Season 2 and 3 was Gary Leroy Gray. And he was in Fairly
Only his
Odd.
last name was Jenkins.
Gary Leroy Jenkins. He was AJ in Fairly Odd Parents. He was
Oh,
Nelson
wow.
in Even Stevens. He was
Whoa.
Alcy in Slappy and the Stinkers.
Ooh.
And then the 4th season was Sean Marquette, who was in 13 Going on 30 and
Yeah.
Friend Request.
Okay.
So, yeah, Sam had a lot of people to voice him. Maurice Twister Rodriguez had 2 people play him. Ulysses Cuadra did seasons 1 through 3.
That's a tough
And
one.
seasons 4 was Gilbert Leal, who was in an episode of Voyager, which is cool.
Okay.
Raymundo Rocket was John Kasser, and he's the crypt keeper from Tales of the Crypt.
No way.
Yeah, he was also on the Amanda Show. He was in the 2000 remake of The Three Stooges. He's in a movie called Encino Woman, which I can only imagine is the sequel to Encino Man. And he also played Miko in Pocahontas.
Okay,
as
so
well.
he went like.
Yeah, he's that, and
Okay.
also Buster Bunny from Tiny Toons.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he did a lot of fun stuff.
That's cool.
Tito McConney, everyone's favorite uncle. He was played by Ray Bumatai.
Okay.
He was in Johnny Tsunami. I don't know who he played in Johnny Tsunami. He was in it, and he was in Baywatch.
He played the tsunami.
He was the Tsunami. Yeah. Eddie. So Eddie is the prince of the Netherworld.
Or the Netherlands, like we said
yeah,
beforehand.
as I say. He was played by Jordan Warcall, who was Froggy from Little Rascals.
Ah.
Oh, man, can I have an Azuga? Hey, nice Azuga.
Yeah. Paula Dollard. That's Sam's mom.
Mm-hmm.
She's played by Jennifer Hale. The reason I wanted to put her in here is because she's voice of female Shepard in Mass Effect.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's fun. Mass Effect. So
Love Mass Effect.
Raul Rodriguez. I don't know who this guy is. He didn't show up in any of our episodes, but I put him on here because Carlos Alazraqui, who voices Rocco, voiced him.
Okay.
Oh.
So he's like a minor character that shows up in some of the episodes.
Raul Rodriguez. That's Twister's dad.
Oh, it is his dad. He only showed up in one episode for us.
Yeah,
and barely said
but
anything.
that's Twister's dad.
And then some people who did voices, one-offs. Jane Krakowski from 30 Rock.
Nice.
Eric Lloyd, who's the kid from the Santa Claus we just did in Dunstan Checks In.
Oh, wow.
Tony Hawk made an appearance.
Yeah, he did.
John Cho. John Favreau.
John Favreau?
John Favreau?
Yeah, Michael Rosenbaum did a voice.
Really?
Oh, that's
Aaron
cool.
Carter.
That doesn't surprise me.
awesome.
Glenn Shaddix, another person
Yeah.
from Dunstan Checks In. Brian Doyle Murray. That's right, Bill Murray's brother.
Oh my
did a
gosh.
voice. Mark Hamill. And
No
finally,
way.
Fergie, which I want to tell you a story.
Oh my god.
Madison went out with her friend who lives in Brentwood for a hike yesterday, and they hiked around the whole Brentwood Hills. They live like right down the street from where OJ used to live. And while they were hiking, no one else was on this trail, and they saw this lady and like what looked like a bodyguard, and they're like,
Right.
"Oh, who is that? Do you think?" They went, "Oh, it's Fergie."
Oh, wow.
She was just walking around.
Man,
She
Fergie
probably-
just definitions make them boys go loco.
Yeah, she probably lives in Brentwood.
Oh, yeah, 'cause
so,
she's back on the market.
Is she?
Oh, yeah, her and
Josh Duhamel.
Josh Duhamel got divorced like last year, earlier this year.
Do you
Which
guys
is
remember when
weird.
she peed her pants on stage?
Yep.
Did she really?
I do.
What?
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Yeah, there's photos of her like all the way pee-pee.
That's probably why they got the
Did she?
divorce.
She got it started in her pants.
Yeah. That's really good.
In here.
In here.
Okay, so let's talk about the plot now.
That's when she's running here like, yeah.
So let's talk about the plots of the few episodes we watched. So we watched the very first episode ever called New Squid on the Block.
New skid on the block.
This is pretty much Sam comes to town and becomes one of the gang.
Yeah,
There you
pretty
go.
much instantly.
They had fun sound effects. And all the shows have fun sound effects.
Yeah.
When they skateboard and it's like whoosh.
Or like when like they introduced and like there's just tick tock tick tock.
Yeah. It was good.
I like when the hockey puck was bouncing off everything and it was
And then he just bombed it like nothing.
Yeah.
Ow.
He's an excellent goalie.
He is. I like the line where they make fun of him for not wearing shorts. They're like, "What are you wearing pants for?" He goes, "I haven't unpacked my shorts yet." But he never wears
Wears
shorts
shorts.
in the whole series. I said here, Twister's a dick, and also the Rocket's house is a boat. It is a boat.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. The second episode we watched was episode 2, Secret Spot.
Yeah.
Here's a little descriptor for you. After tourists invade ocean shores, the gang goes to Raymundo's secret spot to surf. Will it stay a secret, or will the conniving Lars find it? It stayed a secret.
Yeah, it stayed a secret.
This is the episode where the town is invaded by shoobies.
Been invaded by shoobies.
And then Raymundo can't grow a beard, I realized, because I was like, what is with all the, like, one little hair coming
Also,
off of
like
his chin?
Yeah.
that episode, the Shuby episode, is like the most memorable for me. Like I remember
Oh,
like,
yeah.
almost everything
Yeah.
that happened in that episode.
I love the
same.
whole covering the sound for when they tell the location, like the
Yeah.
ice cream truck, and then like the blue angels just out of nowhere for some
Yeah.
reason are great.
Cats fighting.
cats
Merv
fighting.
yelling at the ice cream truck.
Yeah. Come back here. And then, like I said, there was a volcano at the secret spot.
Sick.
I guess the secret
the
spot was
fake
like
secret spot.
Well, the secret spot, I guess, is just a portal, but in space that takes you to Hawaii. I don't know what's going on here. And then I wondered, why did it matter that they told Squid and Twister about the secret spot, because technically, weren't they going to know the location
Once they went there?
took them there? So what's the
but the
big
haiku.
deal? Haiku? Did you just say haiku?
Yeah.
Is that a haiku? I actually never knew what a haiku was as a kid, so I was like, what did I think that was that
Yeah.
he said?
It's
Anyway,
like when a baby goes,
wow.
Can you do that again?
not happening.
One more time. Just one more. One more for me. Thank you.
There we go. The third episode we watched was Super McVarial 900.
Yeah.
Otto goes on a mission to be the first one to land a Super McVarial 900, which is deemed as physically impossible. He doesn't land it.
No, he doesn't.
So I
Did
like.
at one point with the help from a tennis ball
How did
coming
no
out
one
of
see
a
that?
Lawnmower.
lawnmower.
Yeah, I don't know how
did he
no
not
one saw
feel
that.
the impact of a tennis ball?
Because he was hyper focused.
Hormones.
If he's hyper,
Hormones.
Never. I'm just gonna gloss over it. If you're hyper focused, you'll notice more.
Well, all I know about
Depends.
this episode is that there was a lot of beef.
Super Pete.
So,
talk about
Wendy's, I know where your beef is. It was in this episode. Merv has the Lithuanian flu.
Yeah.
What is
Yeah,
that's a thing?
I
What,
caught
did,
that
did
too.
he go to Lithuania recently?
Yeah, he must have.
Finally,
It's from
Otto.
his mistress.
Yeah, exactly.
She's Lithuanian.
Otto built a whole half pipe in 2 hours.
Yeah, he's
So-
really resourceful.
No, it
dude.
wasn't that he built it.
He just
they've
enlarged
already
it, right?
had it. They were just
Oh.
making it taller and
Oh,
yeah.
still 2 hours with like
well, he started at 5 a.m.
yeah, and went to 7, and then finally
also, that's a noise ordinance.
that
okay?
would be a
Yeah,
noise
it would
ordinance.
be.
And then finally the line with "I wish we had helmets then too," where he says it twice. But the second time he says it, it's in the background. It was a really funny moment. I
That is
laughed
funny.
out loud because it was one of those things where it's like not front and center. It was a very very witty
Yeah.
placement.
exactly. And
No.
he has brain trauma.
He does
Yeah,
have brain
he has
trauma.
CTE.
Yeah.
yeah.
Not only that, Marvin and his wife sleep in separate beds.
They do.
Yeah, they do.
They're straight
Well,
up the
that-
Lucia and
Yeah, they come
Ricardo.
from a different time.
Yeah, they're the Ricardos. All right, we watched then an episode called The Night Before. This is where Twister, Sam, and Otto go out on mischief night, but when Reggie tries to stop them, she gets caught. Will she take the blame for them? No, the guys confess.
No, yeah.
This is where we get Eddie, Prince of the Netherworld. I did write Netherlands.
Did you really?
That's why I keep saying Netherlands. This one.
Autocorrect.
So Sam is super smart, but when Reggie says a sarcastic remark, he doesn't get it. So
Yeah.
is he really that smart?
I think he's more like tech savvy.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
Anyway,
He works at
this
Radio
had
Shack.
this had a line that I remembered that was one of my favorite, where the dog is chasing him. They're like, "I think it's a pit bull. No, it's probably a Doberman." He goes, "You're both wrong. It's some kind of big mean dog."
Exactly, because
That
pit
cracked me
bulls
up.
are not a big mean
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah, well, I thought that was hilarious. That was cracking me up. Okay, next episode we watched was one called "Escape from Lars Mountain."
Yep.
This is after Lars gets in trouble for punking Twister. He takes Twister and his friends to Mondo Mountain, which is where they sell Mondo burgers. But Mondo Mountain doesn't actually exist, and after ditching them, the gang turns the table on Lars and gives him a taste of his own medicine. So pretty much, yeah, it's exactly how it
Yeah,
sounds.
they trick him.
This one is great because they have microwave gas station bean burritos.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love a good old microwave gas station bean burrito?
I used to get
So
one.
good.
Used to get one almost every day when I went to Hart and would go off campus for lunch.
Almost as
Peanuts.
good as the taquitos from 7-Eleven.
Almost as good.
Almost as good.
as good.
Ooh, I wonder if we should do a taste test. Which one would be better?
We should get the taquitos and get a gas station bean burrito, and then we won't podcast the next day because we'll probably all be sick.
Hot pocket for breakfast, hot pocket for lunch, dead by dinner.
There was a good line in here where he said, "What was a chicken doing in a Wood Ranger uniform?" Because they tried to scare him by putting the Wood Ranger uniform with
chicken
chicken
bones.
bones, like he's dead. That was pretty funny. I like that a lot. Finally, the last episode we watched, which is kind of a dud, but it was the last episode of the season, which is why I wanted to watch it. Welcome to the Club. This is after getting a free week membership to a snooty beach club, the gang finds out that rules suck. Gotta learn that lesson someday, but I guess today is not that day.
And tripe does taste like chicken and salty marshmallows.
And is tripe actually a
Sheep
sheep
stomach lining,
stomach? Oh,
Yeah.
good lord. Why would anyone want to eat that?
Because it's a
Oh,
good
it's
food.
good.
Yeah, it's delicious.
You've had tripe, Joe? I can
yeah.
understand Cam having it.
Yeah.
But you?
Yeah, it's super
It's
good.
delicious.
Sounds like
Eat- eat-
Jordan and I would have a gripe about tripe.
Yeah. So you haven't.
Have you ever had menudo?
I have not had your noodle.
I sometimes use the noodle in the pool so I float. But
Just a noodle.
did anyone notice the pigeon at the beginning of this episode sounded like an elephant?
Yes.
Like right at the bat, I was like, what is with this pigeon?
You want to do that elephant sound one more time?
And then the thing I loved about this was volley lobbers. Krager's face tells me he didn't watch this episode.
I didn't get to the last
I knew it. And this was the episode that I actually watched the end credits to, and I guess at the end of every episode they'd have a line from the previous episode in the credits.
Oh, really?
I was like, oh, that's a fun little
Yeah.
like post-credit teaser. I did use air quotes
You
there.
did.
I don't because I'm a shooby.
Do you guys want to go play volley lobbers later?
Volley.
Only if we can spike balls
lobbers.
into like nerdy kids.
Yes. Like, what are those nerdy kids doing there?
They're just like, it's like the sounding thing when he got hit with the
So
ball.
funny. I like how Twister like catches his parents there, and it's like this big thing. Like, this is what you do when you say you're going to the grocery store.
Yeah.
So funny. All right, let's talk about the conspiracy corner.
Let's do it.
Okay, first conspiracy here. A lot of conspiracies. The show is much more depressing than its extreme facade seems. So, Ray is a negligent parent. I've talked on this before.
Yeah.
You did it on our cartoon episode.
I did, but I'm going to get more in depth on some of this. So Raymundo Rocket is a 40-something burnout who wears sandals to work. He owns the Shore Shack, a greasy spoon where he sells food to tourists. He has 2 kids, 11 and 12, whom he rarely sees because of his job, and he regularly engages in dalliances with the women of Ocean Shores. The only time you see him spending time with his kids is when they're partaking in Mundo's favorite pastime, surfing. Raymundo has left his kids unattended while chasing tail, and he would much rather be a bro than be a father. They rarely get punished, and it seems that no consequences are ever had for these reckless kids. So he's a pretty terrible father.
As a kid, I used to thought, like, this guy is so cool.
Right? 'Cause as a kid, you think that, but then as you're an adult, you're like, wow.
He's even cooler.
I'd be like, discipline your kids. Okay. Tito might be Reggie and Otto's dad.
Yeah.
Here's why. Raymundo is whiter than Wonder Bread. His bio says he's Anglo-Polynesian. He's got blonde hair, for God's sake. In contrast, both of his kids have the same complexion and hair color as Uncle Tito. Tito is the fry cook who hangs around with Ray and all the kids all day because apparently he has nothing better to do. Or alternatively, he wants to keep an eye on his biological children, Reggie and Otto. If nothing else, it's an interesting fan theory.
Yeah. That is an interesting theory.
Yeah. Sam is being emotionally abused is another theory here. Poor Sam Dollard. He's the new kid in town that just can't seem to fit in. He's the nerd of the group that makes everyone else look cooler by comparison. He's basically Ross Geller, Potsy Weber, and Ferris Bueller's friend Cameron all rolled into one. He wants to fit in so badly, he puts up with constant mockery from his peers. Seriously, they nicknamed him Squid. That has to be one of the meanest things you can regularly call a chubby preteen, although they called Twister Squid before.
Yeah.
Most of the time, it doesn't even seem like Sam likes extreme sports. He's regularly bullied into doing things he's uncomfortable with in order to gain acceptance from the cool kids. I don't get that very much either in most of the episodes. Also, Sam's dad is never there and emotionally unavailable for him. Work takes precedence over his family, and he tries to buy his son's affection. It's true. The whole dad thing is probably more where like the emotional trauma comes in. There's xenophobia. In the second episode, the one we watched, the shore is invaded by shoobies, which is surfer talk for peak tourist season. That's the time of the year that presumably pays the majority of the bills for the Rocket family. The kids don't know what to do with themselves because apparently xenophobia was ingrained into their personalities before they hit high school. For those of you that don't know what xenophobia is that you don't like aliens. Not aliens like they come from outer space. Aliens like the Donald Trump aliens. Like
I thought
illegal aliens. Xenophobia.
I thought it was about the xenomorph aliens.
Yes. Yeah. So naturally, they hit up Raymundo for the only thing he's good for, surfing advice. They sneak away to his secret surf spot, which probably where the kids were conceived, knowing Mundo. The Rocket children don't learn to accept people from other backgrounds and are left despising the very people who provide their livelihood. Yes.
No, it would just suck if you were a local and you couldn't do what you like to do.
It's true. And I
think
that they're reading a little bit too much into it. It's like xenophobia.
We're going to overrun with shoobies in a couple of years here.
Yeah.
They're going to build 50,000 homes. 20,000 over by Magic Mountain and another 30,000 over
these dang
shoobies. They wouldn't be shoobies because they're living here, so they're now locals.
True. It'd be people who come to like the Hyatt.
It'd be people who like come here from like Lancaster.
Yeah.
Shoobies.
Technically,
we love you, Jason. Mindy.
Technically, I've been living here since '89, and that's the year that Santa Clarita was incorporated. So I've been living in this town as long as it's been in existence, which is very sad on my part. But
Jason and Mindy are the only two people in Lancaster with full sets of teeth.
So David.
What about David and Stephanie?
Sorry, guys.
I don't know. There were a lot of people at that party that had full sets of teeth.
They're all false.
They're all false. All right. So on the other side, there are some life lessons that are taught in this episode. So let's not be too depressing, because I think that was a little harsh on the show. I think we're reading a little bit too much between the snowboard.
Yeah.
Believe in yourself.
When did they snowboard?
Well, not in these episodes, but there
later,
were episodes.
Yeah, I know.
Believe in yourself and you'll find what you're good at. Squid was a great goalie, even though he failed at a lot else.
Yeah.
It teaches you that there's a place for everyone.
Yeah.
Never forget your protective gear. That's one thing they teach you, because they're
That's true.
always putting their. So, I mean, that really helps you as you get into college. Wear that rubber, kids.
Always.
Be patient for the next wave in life to come. Uh-huh.
All about the motion of the ocean.
Yeah. True friends stick by your side unless, of course, you have a competition.
Yes.
And it's okay to cry over sand in the potato salad. Thanks, Tito. So those are some great life lessons that Rocket Power has taught us as
I
well.
love potato
In
salad.
the potato salad.
I actually don't like
I
potato
love
salad.
potato salad. I make one that you would really like because it's different than a traditional.
Does it have
potato-
mayo in it?
No.
Oh, then I might like it.
It's different.
I hate
Interesting.
anything
I
with
think
mayo.
it's really weird. Like
Do you like Miracle Whip?
No.
No,
I
it's
love
gross.
sandwiches with mayonnaise,
But were you disgusted by that?
but I really
Oh.
like sandwiches are a million times better with mayonnaise.
Yeah, it's food lube.
But
no.
but but like mayonnaise in pretty much every other situation, like gross.
Yeah.
No, it's terrible on a sandwich.
No, it's good on a
No.
sandwich.
You guys are crazy.
You
Eat
put
a-
a
eat a-
really thin layer, like just to lube up your bread, like,
See,
and it makes it perfect.
I don't load it up. I do more than a thin layer,
Oh, okay.
but also like but there's a fine line. Too much mayonnaise on your sandwich, and it's
I'll
just
tell you
like
what.
nasty.
I'm going to show a little bit of my millennial right now. Guac or nothing.
You know what I do?
Lube my sandwich up with some guac.
Guac's good.
I
Yeah.
make a little mixture. I make a nice thin layer of mayo, thin layer of spicy, like a Dijon mustard
Yeah,
on
yeah.
top of it. Mix it all together.
I would
Yeah.
have just the mustard.
Also,
I love Dijon.
I've learned
Oh,
I learned this
Dijon.
recently.
Give me some
I
gravy
learned,
upon.
I learned this recently. In a pinch, if you're out of mayo,
Fluff. Marshmallow fluff.
lightly spread ranch.
Oh. Eh.
That does not sound
No.
good.
It sounds terrible. It sounds terrible.
Terrible.
It works.
Hey,
it tastes
hard-
good.
hard
Life
pass.
life hack right
Have
here.
you ever had like
No.
a chicken bacon ranch?
Life hack right here. If you're also out of milk for your cereal, little bit of ranch.
Ew.
Oh God, that sounds like the
that's,
worst
you
thing
just
ever.
use Guinness.
Guinness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
75% water, 25% ranch.
Oh my God, that's disgusting.
Just water it down to the
right
consistency.
Just mix it in with all
Yeah.
the cereals.
Is that how you mix stuff in?
Yeah, like this.
I
Yeah, it's
guess.
like churning butter.
We're going up
Churning butter.
You don't mix
Sure,
things
that
this
ranch.
way.
This is how I mix
he
it.
has homemade buttermilk ranch.
Yeah.
It comes from his
His udder.
I almost said uterus. I was trying to think, what's the cow thing? What does the cow have?
Cow's milk comes from
udder.
the uterus.
Cows do have a uterus.
It's
Yeah.
utterly fact.
Oh, I just punched the mic.
Yeah, you did.
All right, I have a few fun facts for you.
Okay.
Fun facts.
Fun
Factual
facts.
and fun.
Two things here. So the soundtrack for the show has 5 songs on it. I'm going to tell you 3 of them.
Okay.
99 Red Balloons by Goldfinger.
Nice.
Yeah.
Or 99 Luft Balloons. Or
Yeah.
whatever. Valentino by Bowling for Soup.
Okay.
Oh,
And I'm Cool by Real Big Fish.
Nice.
that is awesome.
That's
Nice.
If you're going to only have 5 songs on your
Yeah.
soundtrack,
So that's a good
not,
3.
not bad. Do you guys know what the N on Squid's shirt stands for?
Nebraska.
Nebraska, because isn't that where he originally was supposed to be from?
No.
No?
He was originally supposed to be from New York.
Oh.
But the story got changed so quick to production that it never got word to the animators,
So it
and they kept
became
the N.
Kansas.
So, yeah. Because he's from Kansas, yeah.
Yeah.
Just new kid on the block.
Which is funny because I love in the one episode we saw, Otto's like, so on this map, where's your hometown? He's like, Hutchinson, right there. It's a nice small little town. Like a map is going to have Hutchinson on
Yeah.
it. Hutchinson, Kansas.
It might. It might.
Is that a real place?
Seriously
It
doubt
reminds
I don't
me of
know.
like Mr. Deeds. He's like, Winchestertonville, like something like that. Remember?
Winchestertonville,
No, because-
Iowa.
yeah.
I've never seen Mr. Deeds. I will tell you the extent of the Mr. Deeds I've seen, and Joe's in this story. One of the first times I got drunk at a house party, we were at a friend of
This
ours.
is like this is about a year and a half ago.
Yeah, we were at a friend of ours' house, like right out of high school or like right
Yeah.
when college started, and we all went into his room to watch. And this is like near the end of the night, so we're all just like trash.
Yeah.
We went into his room to watch Mr. Deeds, and we sat and watched the menu screen for about 30 minutes before someone went, "Hey, this isn't the movie."
So, like, can someone push play?
Someone would play. And then at that moment, the movie started. We're about to watch it, and Joe's sitting in a chair. He goes, "I gotta go," and like jumps up and runs to throw up in the bathroom. And I'm like, "Where did he go?" Like it was so funny. He was like totally normal. He's just like, I gotta go. Darts out of the room.
It's good times.
Also, that night's when you saw the ghost.
Yep.
I walk down the hallway and I see Joe leaning on a cabinet, just like staring off down the hallway. And I'm like, "Are you okay, Joe?" He's like, shakes his head. I'm like, "Did you see a ghost?" Like, his eyes are just all bulged out. It's great. That's a great night.
It was a good
Such
night.
a fun
Amazing.
night.
Still a great night.
It's still a great night. Anyway, that's Rocket Power.
Right on.
Yeah.
That's the spirit.
That's the spirit.
I actually remember that.
Yeah.
Check us out on Instagram and Twitter, and we have an email, wreckmypodcast@gmail.com. Go give us a review. Yeah, just do it. Just do it. Give us a review. Go check out our YouTube. That's always fun. Go to wreckmypodcast.com if you want to buy some merch or support the Patreon stuff or our Amazon link or all that stuff. In fact,
Bubbles.
we should run a special for our patrons. I haven't thought of what yet, but I do want to do something where like everyone who is a patron in an upcoming month or signs up that month, we like send them something or do something for them, you know? So let's brainstorm a little bit.
Bring them incentives in.
Yeah, we'll get some incentives for them and
How
figure
many
that out.
Patreon
We have 9 or 10
Say
right now.
If we get to 20, we'll randomly select someone to give away the T-Rex I welded.
Oh, we could do that.
That's a great giveaway.
That's a good idea.
That's a really good giveaway.
I like that. So yeah, we'll think of something. We'll let you guys know. Might be that. That sounds like a good idea. I want to thank Ben from Petrified Gumbo Music for making our intro song. He's super cool, makes awesome music. Go to petrifiedgumbomusic.com to hit him up. Every Monday we have Stoked on This. We have a round table featuring Stoked on This in there. So this last Monday we talked about fries. Yeah, that was fun.
Yep.
And I'm hungry.
Yep. That's a lot of good stuff. Next Wednesday, I don't know what we're doing. It's next Wednesday, September, right?
Yeah.
We're finally in
Yeah.
September. Should we do Man Month?
Sure.
Demolition Man? Like, I'll find every
as long as
movie.
you can just wake me up when it ends. That's all I care about.
Okay.
We can do September Man Month, October
It's
horror,
Halloween.
Halloween,
Which
October
finally,
Ovaries month.
Yes, Ovaries Month.
November
No
Disney
shave.
Channel original
Yeah,
movie.
November's going to be Disney Channel. Although the problem is, it doesn't it start November 12th?
I think so.
So the first week in November, we'll have to do something. Or
Well, unless we can find one.
that's true. We could probably find one.
Yeah.
Like I was talking about that movie, Phantom of the Megaplex.
Yes, that has to be on
Yeah.
our list for sure. Phantom of the Megaplex, Smart House.
Luck of the Irish.
Finally bring
Luck of the Irish, Motocross.
Motocross. There's
Oof.
so many good ones.
Mom's
we
on
need
a
more
Date
than
with
a
the
month.
Vampire.
Yeah, we need more than a month. And isn't there a TV something we just discussed on Disney Plus coming out November 12th? Not The Mandalorian. Something else.
Lizzie McGuire?
Oh, that was it. Yes, that would be a good one to cover too. So those are all fun things.
It's a really good defense.
What?
Cover 2.
Yeah.
Oh,
nice.
no.
Football stuff.
Also, check out this Saturday is our first new show where we have extra content coming out on Saturdays.
Is that
called
new?
Wreck My Taste Buds.
Nice.
Where we tried some sunflower seeds. I'm not telling you what kind, but check it out Saturday.
I
not all we
definitely
tried.
pinched one of my taste buds in between one because like
Ouch.
it's like on the tip of your tongue.
Yeah.
It's just like sensitive.
My tongue was burned from a buffalo chicken pizza I had last night.
Oh,
that
sounds
it was
so
too-
good.
too
so
hot
good.
when I
Yeah.
bit into
Oh,
it.
you're so excited to eat it, and then this
Yep.
like it ruins it. 'cause
And now, and then
Yeah.
you can't taste anything for like the next 3 years.
Yeah.
Finally,
like a traffic ticket.
yeah, and gum. Thank you to my guests for being here, and finally, thank you to our listeners. I love getting wrecked with you. Thank you, and remember, beef.
Zibba zabba lame-o.
I'm Walter Cronkite.
Woogity 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 you all.
Wreck My Podcast. Wreck My Podcast.
Yes.
All right up in my butthole. No, why?
You didn't hear?
No, what happened?
Andrew Luck retired.
Oh, did he? Oh, that's funny.
He's only 29. He only played for 7 years.
Yeah.
That's really short for quarterback.
So he's like, hey, I'll take my money and go home. He'll literally take his ball and go home.
I think also the Colts are actually going to give him more than they they don't have to give him a certain amount, but they're going to give him, I think, half of what he's left.
Yeah.
Just as a thank you.
I guess so. Because they honestly, they kind of treated him. They didn't. Basically, in his first 3 or 4 years, they only drafted 3 offensive linemen before the 7th round, and all of them were poop.
So
he
just
got hit over and over and over.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
He Chumbawamba'd it, but it took a toll.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's why he's retiring it. He
That's
said
why.
he's 29.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Why does he look 38?
It's
That's
the
what
beard.
wearing a helmet will do all that time.
And getting hit that much.
Yeah. Although now, so he's retiring at 29. Aaron Rodgers looks like he's straight out of the 70s. Like, what's going on, man?
And Tom Brady looks
700
younger.
years old.
Tom Brady looks younger each season.
I know, it's weird.
Yeah.
He definitely sold his soul.
To Bill Belichick.
Did you so you know how you said about Spider-Man, the Marvel Sony thing? Do you realize that was it didn't actually go through?
Oh, really?
It
no.
was, so I found the source
I saw
that you
that
read.
was. I saw that was the deal that was on the table.
I found the source that you read, and it said it did an update yesterday as of this has been confirmed as a rumor, and then updated today as this has been confirmed as fallen through. So it's not. I had to put it in the show notes of our thing that if it comes out tomorrow that it's not actually happening. But I'm like, oh, bummer. So there's still no
Busted. Wasted.
I don't have my thing
You
up.
doing Batman?
Na 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 na. I went My Chemical on that one.
We skate for fun. We're soul skaters.